Hello and welcome back. So in this video, we want to add a unit test as well to our gateway service, but I'm going to add it only to one controller file, and I'm going to use the current user auth controller. Okay, so what we are going to do, we're just going to test this method and check that they all return the correct responses. Okay, so we're going to add the unit test to our gateway service. At first, let's see if we already have Jest set up. Okay, so yes, we have Jest set up. Now what I'm going to do is the mock folder, we already have it. Okay, so go to your auth service, go to controllers. You can copy the test file. Okay, copy the complete test from your auth service. Okay, because we are going to use the same mocks. Now, if I go to the mocks folder, okay, so we are using the same mock route, mock response, and then we are setting up the same auth payload and auth documents. Okay, so then the next thing is the main test files. We will need to make changes. Okay, so first let's remove what we change the path. So this will be gateway. So gateway, and I think let's see how it was defined. So it's gateway controllers auth, okay, then tests mocks, okay, and then this one will be for now, maybe we can make changes. We can make changes to this. I'll take out all of this. Okay, so take all this out. And here we are mocking the shared. We are mocking the auth service. Okay. Probably we need to mock, let me see. We need to mock the gateway cache. Okay. So we don't need a producer, but we need to mock the gateway cache. So this will be gateway instead of auth. Okay. So we mock the gateway. And then I will mock the gateway server. So gateway / server. Okay. And for the gateway service, it should be gateway services / API. Okay. So I don't forget that. So I don't get any mistake. And we can remove what we don't need. We don't need this. Okay. I don't need this mock. I can take them out. I can take this clear mock. Okay, so what I want to do is I will need to mock this socket IO object right here. Okay, so remember in the get logged in users, remove logged in users, we are calling this or using this socket IO. We need to mock this, and to do that, well, I will just define it here. So I'll say object.define properties. Okay, and then inside I will pass the socket server. Okay, let me see, but I have to first import all as socket server. Okay, so here I'll come right here and say import all as socket server as socket server from, not soccer but sockets, socket server from, and then gateway server. Okay, and then I'm going to pass this here, and then I'll define this object, this socket IO object. Okay, socket IO. Okay, and then I'll set the value. The value will be new server. Okay, and we import this from socket IO. Okay, and then I'll set writable to true. So in JavaScript, if you want to add a property to an object, you can do it this way. Okay, this is how you define properties inside an object. Probably you want to do it on the fly. Okay, so this is how you can define. So in this socket IO server, we are going to define this socket IO object. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is let's start with this read method. We are going to spy on this get current user, return what it expects, and then we check that the status code and JSON matches whatever we have here. Okay, so I'll call this read method, and I'll say it should return correct response. Okay, or we can say it should return authenticated user. It's still fine. Okay, so here we have our request, we have our response. Now we need to import all from the gateway service or the auth service. Okay, so I'll copy this. So here I'll say import all as auth service from the auth service, and then down I'm going to use this auth service, and what is the name of the method? Get current user. And we expect this get current user to return, because it's returning an Axios response, and the information we need is inside this data object. So this method will return, it will return an object with data, and then inside data we expect it to have a message and a user. Okay, so in the data we specify message. Okay, you can add anything to the message, and maybe you can say current user data, and then it expects a user property of type auth mock. Okay, and I think we need to cast this as well. We need to cast it as Axios response. So first I'll say as unknown, and then as Axios response. Let me go ahead and import this from Axios. Okay, let's try something else. Instead of importing all, let me just import the auth service and then see. Okay, so I think it makes much sense that way. Yeah, for the casting, I'll cast this object right here. So this is how we need to do it. Okay, then we need to call current user. So it's going to be await current user, import it, controllers auth, yeah, dot prototype dot, then what is the name of the method? Read, and then we pass request response. Okay, now let's just check. We expect it to have the status to be 200 and the message to match whatever message we pass in here. So message should be current user data, and then the user should match this auth mock. Okay, so this is just the first test. Okay, so this is the first test, and this method, it also returns a, I think, a JWT token. I think so. Probably we are going to leave it this way. Well, once we try it, and if it fails, we are going to fix it. Okay, now the next one is going to be the resend. Let me delete all of this. Okay, so what I just deleted the other tests. That's why we're just giving some errors. Okay, so at this point we'll need to add another test for this resend email. I will stop here. In the next video we'll continue with our current user test in the API gateway service.